A human skull found in a sinkhole has investigators here on a farm in Franklin County.
And we're dealing with some nice weather across the area today, but I have one little trouble spot showing up in the forecast before we get to the weekend.
In just a few hours, a popular country music duo is giving back to help victims of the recent flooding in eastern Kentucky. A preview of Sunday Best's benefit concert.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. It's a great day across the bluegrass. Lots of sunshine and less heat and humidity. You're looking live at Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where it's in the low 80s right now. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here with a first look at the forecast. And Chris, a picture-perfect day.
Yeah, it really is. You look at that shot, you look at the shot that we're showing out there right now, and Jennifer, just plenty of sunshiny skies, though the farther south that we look, we're starting to see some changes already showing up, and we're looking toward that southern skyline here on our live sky cam. Notice how we have a little more cloud cover now showing up across southern parts of the area. Temperatures, though, stealing the show today, as we've talked about for several days. 81 degrees. Humidity is way down to northerly wind 9 miles an hour. Thank you, northerly wind, giving us some very nice weather. Look at the number of 81-degree temperatures across central and eastern Kentucky. At 79 into Maysville. Right now, normal is into the upper 80s. Records are 100 degrees or better in a lot of cases. Defender, though, tracking some rain across southern Kentucky. We told you it wouldn't get too far away. Now we're starting to see some raindrops beginning to creep back in. Some light showers here, southern parts of Pulaski County, southern Laurel County, back toward Wayne County, the Monticello area. Broaden out the view a little bit to show you how the clouds are beginning to lift back to the north and northeast. That's an area of low pressure that's going to work its way across the Kentucky-Tennessee border county. So, Jennifer, when I come back in a few minutes, got a little Thursday thunder creeping back into the forecast. We'll break it down just ahead.
A disturbing discovery on a Franklin County farm. Someone found a human skull in a sinkhole. It was found about 12 feet deep in a sinkhole on Jones Lane near Wood Lake. That's just outside Frankfort. WKYT's Victor Puente has new information. It's our top story at 4.
Investigators were on this farm for a little more than 5 hours. That skull was discovered yesterday. The sheriff says they found other remains down that sinkhole. The man who lives on this farm told me a worker mowing around that sinkhole found the skull yesterday. That worker took pictures and they called police. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the skull was 10 feet 9 inches down that hole. They had to lower a man down head first to dislodge it. It's been taken to the coroner's office. He said they believe it's been on this property for a long time, possibly hundreds of years. The man who lives here said they found Native American artifacts on the property. There's also a cemetery on the other side of the farm. Since they began digging around that skull, they found other fractured remains, and Melton says they've had to call in some specialized equipment to help remove those bones.
We're afraid of disturbing that because they're on a ledge. We don't want to disturb that, a rock fall or anything else, and knock those bones down further in this hole. The skeletal remains further down in the hole than where we are right now.
Sheriff Melton said despite how old they believe that skull to be, they treated this as a homicide scene to make sure they didn't disturb any evidence as they work to identify that skull. In Franklin County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Sheriff Melton says that sinkhole opened up near the end of winter. The people who own the farm have lived there for about 7 years. Country music duo Sunday Best is helping flood victims. Tonight at 7, the Eastern Kentucky natives are holding a concert at Johnson Central High School in Paintsville. Singer Tyler Childers will also perform. Admission is free, but organizers are asking for donations. All of the money raised during the concert will stay in Johnson County. Amber Philpott joins us live with a preview coming up at 4:30, and you can watch the concert live on WKYT.com at 7 o'clock. A Central Kentucky county is also helping Eastern Kentucky. The Franklin County Judge Executive has teamed up with the fire department to collect supplies for flood victims in Johnson County. Fiscal court employees saw the devastation and decided they wanted to help.
You could see the devastation that it would cause to your neighbors and to your family and your friends, and this was on such a much bigger scale that it really hit home, and I wanted to try to do something to help these people out.
The drop-off locations are the Industrial Park Fire Station, Evergreen Road, and the Fiscal Court on West Main Street. We'll have more details on this drive coming up at 5:30. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick is in the newsroom with more of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A man is accused of leaving a child alone in a hot car while he committed a crime. Lexington police arrested Tatorian Moore at the Hamburg Walmart. Police say that he left the 9-year-old in the car while he tried to use gift cards encoded with information from dozens of stolen credit cards. He faces dozens of charges, including endangering the welfare of a minor and fraud. We'll have more on the scheme coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. Armed volunteers in Kentucky and across the country are guarding military recruiting centers after 4 Marines and a sailor were shot and killed last week in Chattanooga. Federal regulations prohibit recruiters and other military personnel from being armed. Defense Secretary Ash Carter has ordered a full review of current policies. Now, we'll take a look at a veteran in Louisville and a former police chief in Boyle County who are standing guard outside recruitment centers. UK kicking off a new football season in 45 days, and today we're getting a much closer look inside the renovated Commonwealth Stadium. Members of the media, including our Rob Bromley, took a tour this afternoon. Work continues on the $120 million project to get it ready for the season opener, not far off, as we said, September 5th. We'll check out the progress at the stadium on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The man accused of killing 9 people in a Charleston church last month has been indicted on dozens of federal charges, including hate crimes. A federal law enforcement official says a federal grand jury indicted 21-year-old Dylan Roof on 33 federal charges. Prosecutors have not yet said if they'll seek the death penalty against Roof on state charges, including 9 counts of murder. President Barack Obama's landmark nuclear deal with Iran could face a tough challenge in Congress, which has 60 days to approve or reject it. Weijie Zhang reports from Capitol Hill, where White House officials are trying to win over skeptical lawmakers.
Secretary of State John Kerry led back-to-back closed-door briefings in Congress, hashing out details of the historic deal to curb Iran's nuclear program. The Secretaries of Energy and Treasury joined too, a heavy-hitting team trying to garner support.
This is a day we've been looking forward to because we get to really talk substance, and we get to get out of the politics and into the facts.
But opponents, including Israel's ambassador to the United States, are fiercely lobbying lawmakers to reject it. Some don't need convincing.
In fact, by the time this deal expires, the rogue regime in Tehran will have an industrial-sized nuclear program.
Speaker John Boehner vowed to defeat the bill in the House.
Because a bad deal threatens the security of the American people, and we're going to do everything possible to stop it.
President Obama has already threatened to veto any bill that prevents the agreement from going into effect. If Republicans override that veto, Iran could abandon the deal, as its parliament plans to vote around the same time.
This is a good deal. It does what we set out to do.
Votes to approve or reject the nuclear agreement are expected in September. Weijie Zhang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Senate will hold a hearing about the Iran deal tomorrow.